Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. So today's Brownsburg session, I'm seeing a large number of attendees. Many people saw that. Very fine, very fine. My name is Kulego Dumagote. I'll be facilitating today's Brownsburg session. So I just want everybody to be comfortable, have fun, and just be relaxed because tourism is tourism month here in eThekwini. As we know, September is the month of tourism. So this is whereby our city, eThekwini, we use to promote our culture, promote our economy, and it promotes community engagement. Because through these tourism activities, we get to engage, get together. We got a lot of local talent presenting itself to tourists and major parties where they can bloom. It presents an opportunity for each and every individual residing in our city to showcase themselves, our culture, and represent us amongst various stories that we may have. So, starting today's session, we're going to be having a couple of speakers who are going to be sharing about this month's tourism. So, I'm going to start with the first speaker because I'm sure all of our speakers are here. So, our first speaker will be Mr. Tulani Mteto. I will just give him a few minutes to present himself. Then, after presenting himself, then you just present to us about tourism. So thank you. Over to you, Mr. Tulani. Mr. Tulani Mtetwa, uh, over to you, the opportunity. Let's just give him a few minutes, maybe still setting up. Uh, Greetings, Mr. Tulani. Sorry, but I've unmuted you, sir.
Oh, good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, everyone. Um, I know that you were expecting my senior manager, Ms. Lindiwe Dube, to be the one that was going to join you, but unfortunately, she was sick for the last 2 weeks, if I may say. But she's fine now, and tomorrow she's going to represent the city in Germany in one of the road shows that we have in partnership with SAT. So then this morning I called Pumzile to relate the information that I will be representing Ms. Dube in her absentia. Colleagues, I must put it out there that I was not really prepared for this meeting, and I even called Pumzile to just get a direction as to what is it that is expected of me. And luckily, she was able to give me some pointers. Thank you, Pumzile, for that. But before I start, Che, properly introduce myself, and I think it's only appropriate that I get to know who is here in terms of of the people that are currently present to just a brief introduction of everyone. I'm not trying to take over from you, Chair, but just for my own appreciation, if you permit. Thank you.
Because it's a time-sensitive session, maybe Mr. Tulani, you can introduce yourself since the speakers are going to get individual opportunity to introduce themselves because nobody can describe a person better than they can. So maybe just you can introduce yourself maybe and we'll continue from there.
Okay. No, thank you so much, Chair. My name is Tulani Mtetwa. I'm one of the managers here at Durban Tourism. The way we are structured is that we've got the head of department, we've got a deputy head, we've got the marketing department, we've got tourism services, where I belong, and then we've got tourism enterprise and road development. We've got research, business intelligence, and then we've got a section that deals with events. Um, Tourism services is structured as follows. We've got the senior managers, and then we've got the four managers under tourism, under the senior managers. The managers are responsible for the four regions that we have in the city: the north, south, central, and the west of the city. And in each of these provinces, we've got what we call community tourism organizations. Uh, in short, we call them CTOs. In my region in the north, I've got Umhlanga Tourism and I've got Ink Tourism. And then we've got a central region where we've got a central Durban Central Tourism. And then in the west, we've got Durban West, we've got Claremont Wadabeka, we've got Thousand Hills Tourism. And then in the south, we've got Sapphire Coast Tourism, we've got Sodepa Tourism, and Umlazi Tourism. So these community organizations are fully funded by the city and they are managed by the managers that I've just alluded to. So at the beginning of each year, um, these individual CTOs are required to comply with the MFMA Section 67, which I'm not going to go deeper into it. Currently, we are giving them a total amount of 350,000 per community tourism organization. So these funds are meant to assist small businesses within their localities. So the funds are meant to empower and assist the small businesses that are coming up, but it must be specifically a tourism related business. It cannot be any other business other than a tourism business. So yesterday, on Wednesday, we launched our summer launch. I don't know if I can be able to project here, Chair, or I can just go through.
Please, Mr. Solani project, story is told better with pictures.
I can't share. The button is grayed out.
Okay, let me just fix it now. Okay. Can you give it a try now, sir?
Okay. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can. To the attendees in the chat, please, if you have questions, and also to show that you can see the screen, please just write a short chat.
Okay, every season we theme our season. This time around, our summer, we themed it The Endless Waves of Tranquility. And we launched our summer officially yesterday at, no, the day before yesterday, sorry. In the south of the city, the establishment that we use is called Coastal Lounge in Umkababa. I'm sure some of you might be aware of it. The establishment started out as a Shisanyama, but now a combination of a conference facility and accommodation. So we've got quite a number of plans that were presented during the launch to our stakeholders, medias, and member of the public. So this summer, because this is specifically a summer campaign, in all our international and domestic campaigns, we are working closely with South African tourism. So we've got what is called the marketing, the marketing country managers in almost every country in the world. But those people belong to South African tourism. Here at Durban Tourism, we've got regional marketing managers. It's only four of them. One is responsible for Europe and America, and the other one is responsible for South America, Asia. And then we've got a regional marketing manager for Europe. So in terms of all our engagements, we ensure that there is always a media and social media coverage so that this is how we try to inform the public as to what is it that we are doing, because sometimes if you just relate a story through your own social media, sometimes people do not really get to know what is it that you are doing, but we try to use as many as possible, different media houses. For example, yesterday in our media launch, we had Metro FM, we had Gagasi FM, we had Heart FM, we had SABC. There's quite a lot. Okay, I'm not going to dwell much on our media partners that we had yesterday. So these are the plans that we have for summer. We've got the national and intra-provincial activations that will be taking place in Mpumalanga, Johannesburg, Cape Town, Limpopo. So what happened is that when we go to these market for activation, we normally invite tourism businesses to be part of these activations. And we always make it a point that we've got our main city entities, which is Ushaka Marine World and Moses Mabhida Stadium, but most of the time we get to go with Moses Mabhida, we go with Natal Shark Sport, and this community tourism organization that I mentioned earlier. Those ones are at liberty to select any business that is affiliated with them to go and represent them in this platform that we provide. So what we normally do is that we will provide the activation space, we'll provide a desk, we'll provide everything. The only thing that is required from the business is for their side to commit funds for accommodation and flights, but everything else is taken care of by Durban Tourism. And I will just try to move as fast as possible and focus on our discounted tours. As you can see, on the 10th, we had a discounted tour for the South region. On the 12th, we had a discounted tour for the West region. On the 23rd and the 30th, we had 23rd is the Ink area. And then on the 30th is Umlazi. So what we do here, we use our rickshaw buses and we invite the members of the public through our social media to come on the discounted tours of the city. And what we do to enhance these activation is that we select one point which is identified as one of the main key area that is going to be visited as the activation space. For example, in Inanda, we selected Ohlange because, as you might be aware, Ohlange was recently declared as the World Heritage Site. So we will be having a variety of activities taking place. We will have stalls, we will have a mini market of sort. So that is how sometimes members of the public get to generate some of income when we do these activations. And we also have the international, I'll just run. We also have the international roadshows, which I alluded to earlier. Metel Europa, that is where Tlengiwe is going to. And then we've got currently colleagues that are in China and Japan, uh, working together with SAT as well. So all these countries that you see mentioned here, WTM, London, those are the trade shows which we'll be going to. And by the way, all these platforms is open to all tourism businesses to be part of them. Whatever that, whenever we go to these platforms, we only say pay your flights and accommodation. We'll provide you with everything when we get there. And we are also going to be having a tour operators workshop because we have seen that there is, sorry, the city has had its fair share in terms of challenges. You look at water challenges, you look at the floods. So we are trying by all means to put together different plans to ensure that the industry gets back to where it was before. For example, now we have got a problem with Airbnbs, Booking.com. So most of the tourism, fully compliant businesses are complaining in that even the people that are not within the space, tourism space, but they are benefiting. What is it that we are doing? So we are going to be having a compliance workshop on the 23rd at Moses Mabhida Stadium, where we are inviting all compliant and non-compliant tourism businesses. We'll be having the provincial and the national government as part of the engagement. We've got the tour operators dialogue, where we are calling all the tour operators, the big role players in the industry, your TOMSA, your TBCSA. They will be part of that engagement, where we are saying to them, please work with us in terms of packaging the city in such a way that we regain our former glory days as a must visit destination that we used to be. So we are hoping that out of that, we will be able to have uh, packages that will be assist us actually to entice more visitors to come to the city. Chair, I think I will end there, not unless there is an aspect that you would like me to cover.
Uh, Thank you very much, Mr. Tulani. What a wonderful presentation. I think you've covered it all, sir. The endless waves of tranquility. Really, ladies and gentlemen, eThekwini is the place to be in September. From the south to the west to the north to the east, you've got tourism everywhere. Thank you for such a wonderful presentation, Mr. Tulani. I'll just hand over this moment to Mr. Zetembiso Mabaso. He will also introduce himself, then we'll continue presenting to us. Thank you.
Greeting, Slalo, and the colleagues in the house. I hope I'm audible, colleagues.
Yes, Mr. Zetembiso, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much for the confirmation, Chairperson. My name is Zetembiso Sipesihle Mabaso, I'm from the Department of Sports Development and Recreation within the city of eThekwini. Mine, Chairperson, will be very brief in terms of the presentation content that I have. I hope that I will be brief and very concise and to the point. I'm not sure if you are okay. Can you see my presentation on your side?
Yes, Mr. Zasembe, so you can see the presentation.
Okay. So basically, colleagues, mine is to articulate the mandate as per the Department of Sports Development and Recreation within the city, and to be able to share with the colleagues and attendees with regards to some of the programs that we roll out within the city. So my presentation will cover the following content. It will cover the legislative context in terms of legislatively what guides us. The National Sports and Recreation Plan, the pillars, will cover the IDP and our core mandates as per the IDP of the city of eThekwini. And then specifically focus on water sports, which is your aquatic surfing, as well as your sand sports, which is beach sports, and some of the upcoming activities in terms of the sporting codes alluded to before, as well as other developmental codes that we support as the City of eThekwini through the Department of Sports Development and Recreation. So in terms of the legislative prescript, we have a few guiding documents in terms of documents that guide our core business. It's the Constitution, the National Sports and Recreation Act, the National Sports and Recreation Plan, which then outlines the implementation framework for sports and recreation within the country of South Africa. And one of the predominant things that we wish to achieve as a country is to have a healthy, active and winning nation. So then there is the Integrated Development Plan, which is the IDP, which obviously would have to be taken from the national prescripts as well as provincial prescripts that inform our business or our core function as the Department of Sports Development and Recreation within the city. So maybe to look at some of the National Sports and Recreation Plan, the pillars that exist. There are 5 pillars that constitute or that inform our business as the department or as a sporting sector. It would be a winning city, active city, enabling environment, using sports as a tool, and transversal issues. So there are various programs that we have under each of these pillars, which will be explained as I proceed with my presentation. So in terms of achieving a winning city, this is where we support sports development leagues that promote the identification of talent within the city. And because our core business as at the department is to contribute to grassroots development. So this is where we provide structured programs through sporting federations, sporting bodies for talent to be identified throughout the city as we roll out programs within the respective regions, within the respective districts, as well as the local wards. An active city, this is where we encourage the participation or mass participation programs within the city to ensure that people within the city are engaging in recreational activities which contribute to a healthy lifestyle. An enabling environment is where we create opportunities and we give or we remove barriers that might exist in terms of participation at a grassroots level. So this would also include promoting equal access to facilities. This would include the development of policy that is in line with national statutes and prescripts, provincial prescripts and statutes, statutory guides. That will create a conducive environment within the auspices of eThekwini municipality to ensure that sports development is done the correct way. Then we've got sports as a tool, where it is used predominantly to achieve a wide range of goals of cities, regions, and global priorities. So this is where your sports tourism, sports for peace, sports against crime activities are done under this pillar. And then there's transversal issues where there are national imperatives in terms of the transformation of sports and recreation within the country to address the past imbalances. So under these 5 pillars, this is the daily bread of sports development and recreation within the city. And these are some of the pillars that we try to deliver on or try to affect by programs that we have. So within the integrated development plan, we are a department that is located or is mandated under Plan 6 of the Integrated Development Plan, which has a broader vision of a vibrant and creative city, which is the foundation for sustainability and social cohesion. So basically, under Plan 6 of the IDP, we have 2 specific objectives that we have to achieve, which is to promote access to sports development and recreational programs, and to provide recreational opportunities for mass participation for all citizens. So to articulate that more in terms of its meaning, it is for us to create opportunities for structured sports development as well as recreational opportunities through federations and sporting bodies, and to provide recreational opportunities for mass participation for general health and well-being. So as such, our department is mandated to align with the national core imperatives, which I have discussed previously, which include the 5 pillars of the National Sports and Recreation Act. And by that, we endeavor to be an active and winning city in terms or in alignment with the national priority of being an active and winning nation. So, as part of trying to achieve this mandate, we've got programs, and I hope, Chairperson, the writing is not too small on your side. We've got programs that we have or that we roll out throughout the city to promote recreation and mass participation programs. This would be your recreation festivals, your senior citizens programs, healthy lifestyle. We've got rural horse riding, we've got indigenous games, and we've got disability sports, which are programs that we roll out throughout the city, be it through the 4 regions within the city or the 10 districts within the city. And then with the winning city, where I said we provide for an environment where federations, confederations, we partner with them to deliver structured program for talent identification and development, because our mandate is mainly developmental. We've got, in fact, we had 20 priority codes. It's been cut down to 16 priority codes. And one of them is aquatics, which I will touch base on in terms of what are some of the plans that we have. So for the enabling environment, like I said, this is where we make provisions for access to sports and recreation programs, facilities, and to ensure that sports and recreation throughout the city is accessible to all patrons within the city who've got a vested interest in sports and recreation activities. So in terms of the programs that we would have for your specifically aquatics or your water sports, since our mandate is mainly developmental, we have a focal area or focus program, which is the Learn to Swim program, which is primarily focused for children between the ages of 7 and 13, primary school going kids. The main objective is to introduce these children to the sport of swimming and to promote water safety. And key to this particular program is the Swimming South Africa, who is a strategic partner in terms of delivering this program. So I would there is a guide in terms of the rollout of the program throughout the 4 regions, because this is where we are mainly focused in delivering this program. It's a 3-month program, which is during the summer season, which uses pools throughout the various sites within the city. And it also contributes immensely in terms of water safety within the city. Then we've got surfing, which we have partnered with eThekwini Surfing Association, and we've got a whole plethora of programs that we wish to deliver, or that we are going to deliver with the eThekwini Surfing Association, which aims to develop surfing at a developmental level or an entry level and progress these athletes into elite surfing. So it's undertaken through various community initiatives, and one of them is the Surfers and Not Street Children program, for which we currently have 9 athletes who are going to the competition, which is articulated as number 5 at the bottom, to represent eThekwini in the South African National Championships, which will be in Jeffreys Bay in the Eastern Cape between the 24th and the 29th of September. So that was through a program that was supported by the Department of Sports Development and Recreation, that contributed to the development of those surfers who are now national athletes. Then we've got our sand sport, which is inclusive of beach football as well as beach volleyball. We currently have a standing partnership with the Pro Beach Soccer League, which runs throughout the month of September to May. And in support of this, we issue waiver of fees, which amount to around 600,000 Rand per annum to have this hosted within the city. Right. So some of the upcoming activities that we have as sports development and recreation, and for the official updates, as well as the program venues, as well as the additional information that I might not be able to articulate in this presentation, please, I implore you to go and follow eThekwini Games Facebook page and eThekwini Sports Development and Recreation Department Facebook page, which will have obviously more information in terms of the developments and the activities that occur within the city that are linked to these particular to our mandate. So we've got the PRC Week celebration that is coming up, that we've incorporated a disability extravaganza. We've got women in sports aerobic marathon. We've got beach football or beach soccer. We've got beach volleyball as well. So we've got the hosting of the Provincial Disability Games that is coming up in November. We've got eThekwini Games, that is an ongoing program which has a grand finale from September to October, and it culminates with the hosting of the Salga DSEC Games, which will be in 2024 December. Then we've got your code development leagues that run throughout the entire financial year or throughout the year for the various sporting codes that I've articulated before, which are the 16 priority codes. So maybe in terms of articulating the impact in terms of our developmental programs, we've got a program like Salga Games that is coming up, and with a full complement of athletes as well as technical officials that would come from the various districts. You're probably looking at a delegation of around 6,000 athletes with technical officials, and the recent Olympics in Paris had about 10,000 athletes as well as delegation from various countries. So we'll be having around 6,000 athletes who would converge into the city, and on the auspices that each night an individual would spend about 1,000 rand in accommodation and all other amenities within the city, it is fair enough to quantify the impact of sports development within the city in terms of generation of revenue, directly or indirectly so, for the city of eThekwini, and the broader investment that the sports development can have within the city. So over and above that, there is an economic benefit in terms of job creation, and the development and upskilling of individuals that would take place. So for the proper development and rollout of programs, we would need various administrators, volunteers, technical officials that would actually oversee the smooth running of the games, as well as the administration of the games, and general assistance around making the the event a success. So these individuals are put through accredited trainings using sorry, Chair, I don't know whether I'm still audible because I saw that I was muted.
Sorry. We are having an issue. There's an echo. Okay, it's fixed. You can continue.
Okay, so through the various sporting federations and sporting bodies who are accredited to run the administrative and technical officiating workshops, we then contribute to skills development, and those skills developed or attained are then put into practice when we do run and administer these programs, of which there is an economic spin-off that is gained by those individuals who are then part of those programs through the payment of honoraria, which contribute to job creation within the city. Yes, on a small scale, but it does go towards actually creating a platform for especially youth to be temporarily employed for that particular event. And it would obviously contribute to the broader alleviation of poverty on a small scale. So in short, colleagues, that is our core business as the department, and some of the programs that we do and some of the upcoming programs that we are engaged in. Again, I will implore you to follow us on Facebook, where you'd get regular updates regarding ongoing programs for eThekwini Games, as well as the departmental programs that we have. I would like to thank you very much for the opportunity, and yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Zatembiso, on a very insightful presentation. Through sports, we gain vast community engagement. You showed us that you ensure that Germany is a winning city and an active city, an enabling environment. And through your integrated development plan, you facilitate a lot of programs, including the Learning to Swim program, the Surfing program, the SAND, and the SAND Sports program. So it was a very insightful presentation. So let's engage as a community. Let's invite our friends, invite our colleagues, invite everyone, and let's just converge together on the days that were shown. You saw the days. There are various activities starting from September. There are also ones on October and also in December. There are various games, and I would also like to suggest that we follow the eThekwini Games Facebook page just to gain more insights and more information on what Mr. Tembiso just presented. He also outlined that such opportunities and such community engagements, they create jobs and present opportunities for athletes to gain noticement on the bigger stage. And also the officials that facilitate the games, they get jobs, they get a platform for growth, and the athletes, they get a platform for innovation, creativity, and just a great space for them to learn and increase their athletics skills, which can also help them to overcome poverty. Thank you for a wonderful presentation, Mr. Tembiso. And now I'll hand over the opportunity to Ms. Noktula Lutuli. Please, Ms. Noktula Lutuli, you will just introduce yourself, then we proceed with your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Greetings, Chair, and a very good afternoon, colleagues.
Afternoon, Oxola.
Thank you for the opportunity to actually present. For me, it's quite easy. My name is Noktula Lutuli. I'm the Sales and the Marketing Projects Manager at Ushaka Marine World. And thank you, and it's a great opportunity to have a pleasure of showcasing the funnest brand in Durban. Colleagues, unlike the gentleman, my presentation is a bit longer, but I'll go through it very fast. A world-class entertainment theme park and tourism destination located in Durban's Golden Mile. We bring together cultures like no other place in Africa into a safe, secure, and clean environment that resonate with the sounds of fun, laughter, and the spirit of togetherness, a true Durban gem. Mushaga colleagues has 8 sub-brands that we house. We have SeaWorld, Wet and Wild, Sea Animal Encounter Island, The Dangerous Creatures, Village Walk, Kids World, and the 2 restaurants, Cargo Hold and Wahoo's. I'm just going to go through them quickly from each brand that we have. To start off with, SeaWorld. It's a thrilling journey. We'll take you to a thrilling journey into the wonders of the ocean, where we have the aquarium, which houses about 6,400 individual species. We have dolphin shows that are showcasing every day, twice a day. We have a seal show and penguin viewing. Within our Wet and Wild is a fun, fresh water world of slides and pools. And Ushaga Wet and Wild caters for the adrenaline junkies, where we have 17 slides. This includes a drop zone of 17.5 meters deep. We also have a lazy river, a body tornado, and a kiddies pools. We also have Sea Animal Encounters Island, and this is a magical marine mystery that offers an opportunity to get up and personal with a beautiful inhabitant and an unforgetting experience for the whole family. So we have the snorkel with the tropical fish. We also have the shark dive offering, and we have the ocean walker where you can actually walk on the ocean's floor bed. This also give our customers, our guests, an opportunity to get closer with the animals. We also have an offering which is uh, the the feed of the stingray. You can have an opportunity to come close to the stingray and feed them up close. We also can get closer to the dolphins. We have a couple of proposals where people come through and they wanted to get married under the water or even get proposed down there. So we have had of that, a couple of those that happened down there. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have dangerous creatures. We have a unique reptile offering that people can actually come through and see them. So the mamlambos and them, we have them available at Ushaka. You can get close to them and touch them and actually learn about these creatures, because most people are scared of them. But once they get the education behind it, it's an easy offering to engage with. Dangerous Creatures is located at Village Walk. This is Ushaga Marine Village Walk Beach Mall, is home to one of the most unique shopping experiences, offering a shopping paradise in an open air environment. This is affording our guests to actually walk out from the beach and walk into the store in their bathing suit. It is so relaxed, and our rules are much less that strict when going shopping. We also have a Kids World. Kids World, it's kids paradise. Most people, if you ask them about Ushaga Marine, they know what Kids World is. So they normally have kids parties here, and they'll have 17. This has 17 attractions, which includes the mascot shows, the splish splash, the games, the performances, the animal presentation. And if you are planning on a birthday party or a memorable sleepover under the stars, we do have birthdays for the kids as an offering. You can have it themed or however that you want. We also have sleepovers, which is such a unique experience for their young ones. So imagine a kid coming to Shaga Marine and having to sleep in an aquarium, and you see sharks and different sea creatures above you. So it's such a unique experience that Durbanites actually enjoy. At Ushaka, we have two restaurants. The first one is Cargo Hold, where you dine with the sharks in one of the Durban's most spectacular settings, offering the most unique and sophisticated ambience. It is nestled in the stern of the Phantom ship with the superb views of the ocean and the shark tank. This captivating world-class venue restores the splendor of yesteryears. And again, with Wahoo's restaurant, is delicious food, breathtaking views, and a chilled atmosphere. So Wahoo's serves both the pools and the promenade side. Ushaga Marine World has a lot of entertainment. We want our guests, when they come to Ushaga, to have a unique experience every time. Around the peak seasons, which is closer to September, December, we have a lot of visitors. At the end of the year, we cap about 1 million visitors that come through to Ushaga Marine World alone. So we have different acts when it comes to entertainment, and we work closely with the departments in this. So it can be Durban Tourism, your TKZN film. So they come through. What we do, probably join in an agreement or partnership, and they'll bring over artists and give them a platform where they can perform and do more things at Ushaga. So every year we'll host competitions. This is allowing the Durbanites, when they come, or the youngsters when they come to Ushaga, they have a platform to showcase their act. And this is from different genres, like you can see, from your soloist to your Zulu dance to your bands to your DJs. We got a wide platform for them to showcase their skills. This was just one of the days that we had. I think it was the Rugby World Cup. So we get this full in just one arena alone, and all the other arena has different activities or entertainment. Most people don't know that Ushaka Marine World, we have a venue hire option. In all our locations or offerings, we also have the venue hire. This can be open up until 10 p.m. at night, considering the neighbors that we have, because we have the hotels close by. But we are open to hosting your year-end parties, your weddings. We've had a couple of weddings, year-end parties, matric dance, and so on. We also have activation space. With the activation space that we offer, big brands come through to showcase their adverts that they'd want to do or activate within the spaces that we do have. Again, with the spaces that we have, is from your arenas all the way to the water park, to the parking lot. there's quite a lot that you can do with the space that we have at Ushaga, especially showcasing over 900,000 visitors that we receive. We do a lot of activation. I think Mr. Mtetwa mentioned earlier that in all the activations that they do, Ushaga Marine World is always featured there because we are Durban's gem or #1 family destination. We really try to be part of anything that's going to showcase what Durban offers, and it's easier to package when people visit Durban. So it's something they can relate to, and especially since the kids or the family appreciates the brand that we have. Ushaga Marine World has filmed with big productions, your Bollywood within the South African context. We have Sbongile, Uzalo. So most people don't know that we do this. They normally come before in the morning. Ushaga, by the way, is open 24/7. So they can shoot overnight or they can shoot in the morning or when we close around 5 or 6 p.m. and peak times. Colleagues, Ushaga Marine World, we pride on ourselves with the CSI that we do within the company. As I think I've mentioned a couple of times, we are Durban's gem and we are Durban's baby. So this offering, even though it is a holiday destination, we want people of Durban to own it. We do a lot of CSI exercises where we have we teach youngsters to come through and learn how to swim. Since you have professionals who do swimming, so they will bring them through. They'll teach them how to swim on the CSI program. This is free of charge. We'll also have our older or Gogos come through also. They'll get an opportunity to do so. People from disadvantaged background, they also have an opportunity to come through to Ushaga at free of charge. For the summer coming up, we do have an offer. We used to have this a while back, but then it was canceled. So this summer we had a high demand for a combo to come back. So we have brought it back. This is going to be the first time we are bringing back since COVID. So we are very much excited to see what it's going to do for what, especially during peak season. Ntulane also mentioned that we work closer with the tour operators, Stokvel groups, whoever want to package Ushaga as a product. We are very much willing to do so. It's the matter of just, calling, or we can make an arrangement, send in proposals, we can work around it. We are not set at 15%. We can, we are very much flexible, especially to the Durban businesses, because we do want a footfall to come to Durban and ensure that, if we create packages, you're moving from one location to the next, and this boosts tourism in the Durban area. Ushaga Marine World works very closely with SAMBRA, which is the South African Association of Marine Biology Research. We host a lot of schools that come through to learn about the marine life. So we have in one day, say yesterday, we had about 31 schools that came through, just for them to learn about the marine life and actually experience Ushaga. So we'll take them to Wet and Wild after this, and they get to see all the shows and the animals that we do have at the park. So we do care very deeply about the environment and our oceans and habitation. We are dedicated and aim to rescue, rehabilitate, and release efforts that ensure a better future for our marine life. Just to give you an example of what we do with Usambra. We have, for example, these turtles, we rescue them and we release them to the oceans. The ones that are not releasable or they won't survive, those are the ones that we keep, and we keep them in our exhibition. So within what we showcase at Ushaga, for example, our dolphins, if one were to die, it's not like we can go to the ocean and actually fish for another one and bring it back. That'll be the end of it. We are not allowed to take animals from the ocean. Of course, we're just here to take care of them and make sure that they are taken care of. Full-time staff that we have at Ushaga, we have a vet that is full-time, one that works half a day. We have a nurse and a register. So you have to track every animal that we do bring in, make sure it's healthy, then before we release it back into the ocean. A very big thank you, colleagues, for this opportunity. You can reach me or at nlutule@rushakamarinewell.co.za. You can send in your proposals. It can be for any performance, it can be for entertainment, it can be for packaging your products, or if you want to partner up, we are open to literally doing everything that we do have. We are available in all the social media platform at the handles at rushakamarinewell.co. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Nuktola. What a very insightful presentation. A bit scary that you can swim with stingrays and sharks. Very scary. But thank you. Such an educational about the tourism in the Shaka Marine. So it's briefly outlines our culture here in the city of eThekwini. Outline our culture through our animals and also the culture of our people through the performances that are done here in eThekwini and local artists, the entertainment, the hosting, the food, even for the film shoots, for the media producers, very, very insightful. And also you outlined very interesting on the discount packages. So this will be a bit fun to enjoy such a tourism month with discount, having to pay less money. Yeah, saving the takers, also saving the takers in the sea. So thank you very much for such a wonderful presentation, Nuksula. I have people are jotting down those questions. I can see in the chats the questions are accumulating. So very briefly, we're going to have a Q&A session, but not now. For now, let us uh, introduce our closing speaker. Just closing remarks from Ms. Makuzwayo, the acting senior manager in the Office of the Strategic Management in the city. We'll give her just a brief moment. Then after her, then we'll enter into a Q&A session. So please prepare those questions. Feel free to ask. We have our speakers here. This will be an opportunity from the audience just to have an outline of what happened and just to ask questions and get more insights where they were lost or some comments. Thank you. Over to you, Ms. Zama.
Thank you, Chawache. This afternoon, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yes, we do hear you.
Thank you to our presenters, our colleagues from tourism, and our stakeholders from Shaka Marine for giving us the insight in terms of how Durban is shaped in terms of overseeing the matters of tourism. And thank you to Utulani for giving us a snippet in terms of what we should be looking at. And I have a feeling a little bit, colleagues, that nisnishile, because I think one of the things that we probably always see is that when you visit Cape Town, and you ask about the Cape Townians, and they tell you that they've never been to the Table Mountain. And we say, but how come you've never been to Table Mountain? And people travel miles and miles away to come and see the Table Mountain. So one of the reasons we wanted to convene this brown bag was to know what is what and know our city very well, because I think there is more to do. I think there's a slogan that there's more in Durban, or Durban is more. My colleagues from tourism will correct me, but I feel like as eThekwini, we own it to ourselves to take pride in terms of our city, be the ones who are showcasing and enjoying our spaces, because if we are not the one taking pride in terms of what our city could offer, then how do we expect tourists to flock into our city? I'm happy that there is. For me, it's the first time learning about the sports that we convene. I wish there could be a little more promotion around those things, besides it being made locally, but we can find a way to mix it up. We will know that the other youngsters, from other provinces, maybe collaborate with them to teach our own youth, and then it inspires, the culture of exchange in terms of our sports and culture. Please, to the colleagues, please promote these initiatives more. Do not wait for the citizens and us, the organization, to go into your pages. Do a little bit more of the effort in terms of promoting the city, because we really thought that we should take this opportunity to take stock in terms of what we have as the city, the eateries, all the hidden gems, and take it upon ourselves that we promote it maybe on our own social media pages in terms of what the city has to offer. And the other thing is that I think it's very important that we really, Tulani put that emphasis to say that can we take back eThekwini to where it was before COVID. We want those numbers, and this was one of the ways to activate each and every one of us to take back our city to where it was in terms of the tourism numbers. And hopefully, some of you colleagues will take the opportunity in terms of the itinerary that the colleagues have shared with us, and stop going to the same places. We saw how Ushaka Marine can offer, and I didn't even know that there is some film shooting opportunities. Maybe some of us will go and sneak out and probably meet our superstars. So just having that knowledge, it's very encouraging for us to say at least our city is alive. But thank you for all for contributing, and I hope this will be the beginning. I think we should take it to the next level, maybe in the next financial year, when it's the tourism month, so we get ourselves prepared and give us more in terms of what is it that we can do so that we can equally promote our city. And probably we'll have some more people maybe from the north, maybe to promote themselves, and maybe we'll have some more people from the west to promote their business, and have a mix in terms of promoting the diversity in our city. Thank you to all our presenters, and I'm hoping that colleagues are going to interact and ask questions and make comments in terms of maybe what is it that you would like to see maybe in the future from our colleagues from tourism or Ushaka Marine and all those things, to say that this is what we are observing, and this is what we would like to see for our city. Over to you, Chair. Thank you very much, colleagues.
Thank you very much, Ms. Zama, for the closing remarks. It really has been an insightful session, a very wonderful session, a very exciting session. So, not to take the time to myself, let me just give this time to the audience. This is the time for the audience. This is your moment. You can ask questions, you can have comments. So briefly, you can also raise a hand and maybe you can unmute your mic, but I'll just start with the questions that are in the chat. I'm very sure our presenters are ready for those questions. First, we have a question from Dr. Prishna. It says, advances in technology such as virtual reality tours, AI-driven travel assistants, and mobile apps are transforming how tourists plan and experience their trips. Technology can enhance convenience, safety, and personalized service, which is true. To what extent has the city embraced these platforms of communication? I'll just give this one to the presenters.
Thank you, Chair. I would just give you my take on it. On our side at Ushaga, when we go to activations, we try very much to especially expose individual that has not got an opportunity to actually see the offering that we have. The likes of your VRs, when we go there, we have to do it and stuff like that. And we'll have a live feed on from our courier, maybe projecting to a school in Limpopo. So we are looking into improving our technology. Unfortunately, right now we're still new at it, but it's definitely it's the future, and it's a way that we have to go and actually embrace this new technology.
Thank you, Noktula. It's really such a gap that we wish to close that you can use because technology is being so advanced. We have AI these days. They can enhance the travel experience, make it more easier, make it more thrilling. So if you just visit Shaka Marine, you know that you're not only there for the sharks, you can also find the stingrays. You can also find the discount packages. You can just have be informative of everything and the resources and the services that are around you. I can see there's a hand. Dr. Pisha raised a hand.
Hi,
Yes.
my question also drills back to, I think it was pre-COVID, having gone down there with family and standing in that queue, waiting to go on those, just to get into the, what's this, water slide facilities and waiting and waiting. There's like, is there no kind of technology as advanced to say, you know what, you number 131 or something? Because even when you walk past, you find a lot of tourists that's wanting to engage and going to the theme park, but there's a long queue. So there should be like a ticketing system to say, you know what, we're fully closed now, come back half an hour later or an hour later, rather than have people waiting outside in a queue, which is so hot. And this mostly happens during your peak session. I'm not sure if you've already had some, if you've got a method like that, but I mean, obviously you can't leave people standing out for so long.
Yes, Mr. Tulani, I saw your hand was raised. You may answer.
Oh, thank you, sir. Uh, so sorry, Chair. In terms of the 4IR and VR, we do have those equipment in place, but as you might well be aware, technology changes almost every day. There is now, like you said, AI. There is also 3D fence. So those we are exploring that, but we are just waiting for our brand strategy to be finalized, and it's something that we've thrown in there as part of the suggestion that we should move with the times. As quickly as something comes up, we should catch up with it. So you'll be seeing a lot of innovation in terms of technology, and the way we do things is going to change slightly. We've done a couple of videos. If you follow Durban Tourism, we've done your virtual Know Your City tours, where you can go to our, if you can go now to our YouTube channel, you can be able to explore the city through those virtual tours. There is also something that we run almost every year. It's called Know Your City, where we invite all the members of the public, including eThekwini municipality staff members, to be part of the Know Your City challenges. And we do them in a form of amazing race, sort of. And we encourage people to participate in those tours. We also have My City, My Heritage, where we give discounted tours to the members of the public through our rickshaw bus. Not only that, as well, we also, like Noktula has alluded to, that Ushaka Marine World, all the attractions within and around the city, we encourage them to actually provide discounted tours, especially to the groups. For example, if a group of, if a tour operator provides us with, say, a busload of visitors, we will obviously give the tour operator a discount, not necessarily the people that are coming with the tour operator. So we are trying by all means, amidst all the challenges that we've faced as the city, but slowly and surely we will get there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sulani. Thank you, Mr. Sulani. You've alluded most of what was asked. I can see Naktula also has some to add, so hand the opportunity over to you.
Thank you so much, Chair. I needed to respond to, is it Prashash? I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right.
It's Prishna.
Prishna. Prishna, thank you for
No,
your
it's
question.
Prisha.
Yes, sorry.
Pisha, sorry about that. Pisha, thank you so much for your question. You were right. We did, and we are still working on that. During our peak times, Ushaka becomes really full, especially since the challenge that we had last year with, our waters and everything that was going on. So most of the crowd flooded to Ushaka Marine World. The lines were super, super long, and speaking into technology, um, during COVID, the system that we had to literally print out the wristband and actually put them on your arm, so we had to touch you. So now we're working to eliminate that. So in case in future something were to happen, we are in the process of actually upgrading our systems, which is going to be touchless, where we don't have to, touch you in any kind of way if you walk into the water park or into our entrances at Tushaga. So that's what we are trying to work on. And also, I think in presenting today, most people didn't know the different accesses which Ushaga had. Most people who normally flock down to the main entrance. To access the park, but we do have also another 3, 4 accesses that we do have to access the park. Maybe that's what we need to focus on this peak period in alerting people to say, where do you enter, if not this side or that side. Thank you so much for your question. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Naktula. Let's go to the chat. The questions are loading. We have a question from Tlantla. It says, what are the statistical demographics on the youth that is absorbed for aquatic training, or rather surfing trainings? I think it's outlining the programs that Mr. Zetembis was talking about. Now he's asking, how is it distributed according to gender? Also, he raised the follow-up questions. He says, regarding all the presentations, what plans does sports, tourism, and Ushaga have in light of the 4IR revolution, or smart tools and plans that are incorporated on the project?
Hey, Chair, can I come in? Because I think the first question directly relates to my presentation content.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay. Now, thanks for the question, Tlantla. In terms of the statistical demographics on youth that is absorbed for aquatics training, I think, as well as surfing, I think in my utterances, I did reflect that we work with various sports structures, your federations, confederations. We operate through schools as well, in terms of the rollout of the programs that we would have. Obviously, in terms of the geographic spread of the programs, swimming or aquatics would actually have a far more spread in terms of the geographic landscape that it covers. It would cover the 10 districts of eThekwini, where there are obviously facilities in terms of pools that are functional, where programs can be held. In terms of the statistical demographics, each and every year we have a projected target, or that we have to reach in terms of the 3-month program that I articulated, which relates to the Learn to Swim program. So for this particular financial year, we've got a target of try to reach 1,500 kids through various schools, through various community clubs, as well as the community municipal pools that are used to roll out the particular program. So in terms of the surfing, how can one be able to actually get information or be part of the program is to obviously through the eThekwini Surf Association, which is the main custodian of surfing. where they would have your various surfing clubs, which is the Christian Surf Club, Sesonke Club, as well as the Surfers No Street Kids program, whereby the opportunity is then granted to people who wish to be part of surfing programs that we would support jointly with the federation. Then in terms of the fourth industrial revolution from a sporting perspective, it is the emergence of esports, which has become a major international um, um, go-to in terms of sports fanatics. And currently we are, as a department, we are engaged in researching areas that we can tap into with regards to the esports arena. Obviously, there would be some concerns in terms of the costing of the setup of facilities for the esports, as well as trying to decentralize it and make it accessible to each and every individual who would have interest in esports. So it is an ongoing research that we are currently engaged in terms of gauging the financial implications to that, as well as how we can best roll out the strategy with regards to addressing the issue of esports within the city. I hope those responses do cover the questions that were asked. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sembiso. Surely you've covered it all. I can see those questions are mounting, those questions are rising, but due to the time, let us take the last question of the day in the chat from Nadia Dean, which reads, with regards to our beaches having high E. coli levels on a constant basis, surely this has a negative impact on our tourism. Kindly advise what is being done to address this as a water quality and lack thereof impacting on avid beach goers and especially tourists.
Chair, can I take that one?
Yes, Mr. Tulani, over to you.
Yes, there is a problem of which Usisuzama alluded to. In eThekwini, we've got a problem where Debonites are not good ambassadors of the city, but mainly this extends as far as the media houses that we have here in Durban. For example, this past December and January, 8 beaches in Cape Town were closed, but it did not make the news because of E. coli. Even now, Cape Town is struggling with E. coli, but you will never hear people talking about that. But when it comes to Durban, it's blown out of proportion. And by the way, throughout the world, if you look at the problem with E. coli, majority of the beaches do have a problem with that. And one of the experts that we requested to come and do presentation in terms of the problem that we have with swimming on the beach is that people can swim in the beach that is affected by the E. coli. It's not going to affect them in any way or form. You can swim in a beach not knowing that there is E. coli. There is nothing that will happen to you. If you look at the investigative journalism, like your Ground Up, your Maverick, they do talk about the problem that exists in Cape Town. And in actual fact, their beaches are more dirtier than ours. That is facts by. No, you can go to Ground Up. Go to Ground Up investigative journalism. You'll see that. In here in Durban, we've got the company. What is it called? They own. It's called Red something. They own Oyster Box in Umhlanga. They also have a hotel in Cape Town. We had a meeting with them last week, And they express that what is wrong with the media here in Durban, because the problem that you have here, it's something that we have in Cape Town, but here we get to learn about it more than we do in Cape Town. And this is something that was said by the GM of that big hotel. It's not just the problem that is here in Durban only. I think it's important that when we talk about this, we don't blow it out of proportion. It's a problem. We acknowledge it. It exists, and I would like to commend actually the people that tend to blow it out of proportion, because it's a fact. It's something that exists. We cannot hide it. People must be aware that we've got such challenges, but they are not exclusive to Durban. They exist in Cape Town, which is loved by most people here in South Africa. When they talk about holiday destination, they will tell about Cape Town. But this is not a Durban exclusive problem. It exists throughout. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tulani, for outlining the issue of E. coli. Yes, it is a growing issue. Oh, we have a hand from Nadia Dean. Let's take a hand for a few moments. Nadia?
Good afternoon, all. Thank you so much for the opportunity to further understand my question. Thanks, Mr. Mtetwa, for answering me, but you didn't quite answer the question of what is being done to address the E. coli situation, because it's an ongoing thing for one. And I, as an avid swimmer, did go swimming a few weeks ago, and I had got an ear infection from swimming at the beaches. So it's not just you can swim in the water and you'll be fine, because that's not true. It affects people's health. And if that's going to happen, we can have tourists coming here to Durban, getting sick and going home and not wanting to come back at all. That's going to have a huge, bad, negative effect on our tourism for Durban. So all I asked was, what was being done about it? Because it is a reality, it is happening. So what is being done about it to minimize it, to get rid of it, to make it better, so we can get people to come to our beaches and feel comfortable to swim and enjoy the amenities here in Durban? Thank you.
Not meant as a dialogue, I take it, but the issue of all our beaches, they are managed by parks. We do benefit in them, that we are a coastal destination, and we use it as one of the main attractions. For example, in Umhlanga, I'll just take Umhlanga. The main problem there, why they have this overflow of sewer into the sea, is because of the residents of Umhlanga. So there is a need of public education. In Umhlanga, you've got a private resident that will just go and do an extension on their property without following proper procedures. And then they will connect the sewage pipes on the stormwater pipe. That's where the problems start first. And the second problem in Umhlanga is that they tend to put foreign objects on the sewage system. And it's very easy. That thing is very sensitive in that you can have blockages. So it's important. It's something that we are in engagement with the parks, that maybe there is a need of educating the communities, especially the ones that are residing along the coast, your Umhlanga, your Bluff, and Toti. So we have to start with the public education, and also encourage those that want to do an extension to follow proper procedures. They must go to town planning for them to have their extension plan approved. And there is also a short of manpower in terms of the departments that are responsible for compliance. For example, if you go to business licensing, they only have 4 inspectors. I don't know about town planning. For now, we cannot say we do want to have the status for the blue flags back, but we have to start from the ground. We have to educate the members of the public. They have to be aware as to what is it that is accepted, what is not accepted, and then we will move from there. These things are not, you cannot take these problems and confine them to a specific individual or a specific department. Within the municipality, I think all the departments, if we can work together and stop working in silos, we can be able to overcome all these problems and challenges that we have as the city, and then we can move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tulani. What an exciting session, a very insightful session. We learned a lot, we've covered a lot about our tourism here in the city of Durban, from Mr. Tulani to Mr. Zetembiso to Ms. Noktula, and our closing remarks from Ms. Zama Kuzwayo. It has been a very thrilling session. So catch us next time on our Brown Bag session. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we close this wonderful and exciting session. Thank you.